Heavy D TV, hashtag solidify. Okay, welcome to another episode of Heavy D TV. It's been a while since I've put something out, but they're going to be random. You might have a few that come out all at once. You might have one that a bit of a break for one comes out, some long ones, you might have some short ones. But they all kind of build around one thing, and that is solidifying your personality. Trying to figure out who you are, what your characteristics are, what your moods are like on a day-to-day basis, analysing yourself inside out, so you know yourself 100%, and then you can work yourself to what you want. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to recap some of the personality traits. So we went through choleric, sanguine, melancholy and phlegmatic traits. The choleric and the sanguine are your two extroverted traits, so we're going to just talk about those two today. It's going to be quite quick and quite brief, but I want you to kind of, think about the information I'm giving you, and then on a day-to-day basis, as you're involving yourself with people, or watching people, or looking at people, trying to figure out if you think you can pick, what they are, what their high characteristics are, maybe their moderate one also. Everybody's got a high one, okay? It's basically like the way you think. Okay, what comes out of your mouth and how you act and stuff like that is completely different than the way that a human brain intakes information and plays around with it, understands and stuff, and then knowing exactly what things mean and don't mean when it comes to communication. That's basically, basically the thing that you kind of have to understand about people. So when you have a choleric or a sanguine in front of you, you know exactly what makes them happy, what sort of communication makes them happy, what they like, what they don't like, and then when you interact with them, it can be a lot more easy, a lot more free-flowing, and you can also pick up a lot of, traits from the other personality that you might want to use yourself in certain situations. Okay, so we're looking at the choleric. The choleric's a leader. It's a strong, dominant kind of personality, and this strong, dominant kind of personality basically can sum things up very quickly. Very unemotional when they're thinking and making decisions. So if you give them, say, a problem, they can basically have a look and visualize exactly the best way to get the best outcome. And if they look at stuff on a day-to-day basis, they can always look at something and always improve it. Always go, that should be there, not there, blah, 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 etc. Okay, and they will act very quickly. And their communication skills are very straightforward, because they're always, when they're communicating, are trying to get to some sort of resolution or problem solving, or get to some sort of goal that they have when they communicate, basically. So the cholerics are very good because people that can't make decisions, then you want to have a choleric on your side. You want to run something by. They can give you a straight up quick decision, and it'll be an unemotional decision. So it'll be taking the blueprint, away from yourself and giving you some sort of direction that will give you the best result, okay, for what you've asked for or what you've given to the choleric. Now the other thing about cholerics is they're very goal driven. Okay, they're very goal driven, so they're very positive people, very optimistic people, and they can basically, you'll find a lot of cholerics being CEOs of companies, bosses, etc. And also they are very confident within themselves. So the way they hold their body language is quite strong, and they definitely like to be, how can I say, involved with conversations, and having their kind of input in conversations. Now the downfall to that is that they could basically make themselves come across a little bit too outspoken, maybe in some situations where they're not needed to be outspoken, and they can have a tendency of also coming across, because of their structure and their body language and their confidence with who they actually believe they are, can rub some people the wrong way. So that's the reason. There's a reason why people kind of first instinct kind of go, hang on, he's a bit different to hang out with, or whatever like that, or he's a bit rude, or he said that like this, or what's going on there, or she's a little bit fucking full of herself, or whatever. All these little thoughts and stuff that you have when you first meet somebody in the first 10 seconds or whatever, analysing them, it's not their fault. It all comes down to that's just how they are. That's the way they think, it's the way they walk. It's the way they've grown up, the stuff that they're interested in and they want to learn about. Their mind directs them down that kind of avenue. Okay, so let's have a look at the sanguines. Now, the sanguines are also extroverted personalities. Well, the thing about extroverted personalities is they create stuff. So instead of thinking about things too much, they're in the moment and they're talking, they're interacting, and they're creating whatever's in the moment, the dynamics of the moment with somebody at a party, anywhere at work. That they can think quick, act quick. The thing with the sanguine is they're kind of like your party extroverted people. Okay, so they're a little bit more higher energy. Okay, so they're more emotionally uncontrolled. Okay, and they like to talk a lot. They like to tell stories. They like to exaggerate their stories. They like to bring an energy to the world. Okay, that basically gets people to interact, gets people to laugh a lot more, joke a bit more, not be so serious. So the sanguine personality is the ones that you probably identify the easiest. Okay, I would say the easiest because it's a shock value kind of thing coming straight into your face. If you were at a barbecue and all of a sudden somebody came in and they were loud and abrupt and they were laughing loud and then, you know, grabbing their drink and then they went around, you know, shaking hands or saying hi to everybody straight up, you know what I mean? They're the ones that makes the first move. They won't look at you and wonder what you're thinking about. They'll look at you and they will talk straight away. Okay, they'll never worry about what you're thinking about them. They're just on the go and they're just very sociable characters. They are. So you can use both of these character traits to your advantage. Now the downfall about the sanguines is that they intake. They know what you're saying, but whatever you say to them, they will pick it up in their kind of. They'll pick it up and they'll relate to something that you're saying back to themselves that they have been through, and straight away understand and nod and then jump in with their story also. So it can be a quite back and forth conversation where you may sometimes feel like you're getting cut off a little bit or they didn't listen to hear what you said, but they are just always free-flowing conversation on the go and they're always happy and they're always upbeat. So it's very good to vibe with them and not be so serious with the sanguines. They have a shorter attention span because of the energy levels, and they're obviously emotionally more attached to energy and stuff like that too. So impulsive decisions when buying stuff, sanguines are very high at doing stuff like that. So that's also kind of a little bit of a downfall. So you kind of really have to understand your character traits with all these, the good and the bad. So then you actually can understand, and it's all about understanding people. You know, the two things, and I'll finish off here, the two rules when it comes to dealing with humans, okay? Number one is communication. Number two is understanding that person. Now, if you can understand whoever's in front of you, okay, and where they are in this point in time in life, or why they're saying what they're saying, or anything, just fully understand everything about somebody, then you can communicate with them a lot easier. So remember those two rules, okay? Dealing with humans. Rule one is communication. Rule two is understanding. You need to understand somebody before you communicate with them. Okay, and to do that, you need to get your knowledge down pat when it comes to human society, social intelligence. You need to do as much research as you can about the brain, the body, the chemicals, the hormones, personality traits, star signs. You need to understand it because you become a lot more smarter when it comes to human interaction and society. Now, you can't fully change who you are, but you can try and work on some other character traits from the other people. So for myself, I'm highly choleric, and with sanguine is my second trait, but I've also learned to have a bit of melancholy because I'm an Aquarius. We're very analytical, so with the melancholy, I've brought the melancholy in, asked a lot of questions about people so I can find out more and understand more about people. And then phlegmatic, well then I know when to keep my mouth shut sometimes because I'm a choleric and I can say a lot, and sanguine and choleric together can be very outspoken, not meaning any harm at all, but sometimes in certain situations I sometimes need to be a phlegmatic and just butter my lip and just follow. which is, it gets harder and harder the older you get to do that one. Okay, nice. Well, this is Heavy D TV. Now remember to subscribe to my channel. Plenty of stuff coming out in the future. Heavy D TV, we hashtag it, solidify. It's all about building your personality, making it more solid and more stronger. Make sure you subscribe. Heavy D TV, signing out.